Hi, my name is Mark Nelson. I'm a pastor at a church called Crossings in Knoxville, Tennessee. In our community, this Crossings community, the value of story is incredibly important to us. I want to tell you just very briefly a story about Eli's and Crossings and how those two stories have intertwined. About a year and a half ago, I was in Chicago and I was talking with a friend and sharing with him about how we were on our very first Sunday that Crossings exist. I was going to tell this story that involved cheesecake. And Tim just started getting so excited. He said, "You've got to use Eli's cheesecake." And I said, Tim, I can't do that. We're in Knoxville. I'll go to Kroger's or someplace. And he said, no, you've got to buy Eli's. I said, "Why Eli's?" He said, "It's the best in the world. You've got to have Eli's." And I said, "All right, if you want to send it to me." He goes, "I will." So he did. And a year ago, February 11th, 2007, Crossings, this church in Knoxville, launched. And on that Sunday morning, I came out on stage as part of the teaching time with a piece of the incredible Eli's cheesecake. And I began to ask the crowd as I slowly devoured the cheesecake on stage. I said, how many of you how many of you believe this is good cheesecake? And a few people raised their hands. And then I asked, how many of you know it's good cheesecake? Nobody could raise their hands because I was the only one. Because I was the only one eating it. And then I began to describe to them how people in life spend this time talking about cheesecake and debating cheesecake. Which cheesecake is better? Should it have chocolate chips? Should it not? And I said the real tragedy of life is to spend your whole life talking about cheesecake and never actually tasting it. And believe it or not, that seems to apply to how we view God. And we went on to invite the people to come taste and see that the Lord is good. It's one thing to talk about God, it's one thing to talk about Jesus, but it's a whole other thing to taste and see that He's good. We proceeded to serve those 225 people Eli's cheesecake as a gift from my friend Tim. And then through the generosity of Eli's, again this past year at our first birthday, we once again invited people to come taste and see. And you know what? Some of them could say that they knew that it was good because they tasted it the year before. We are so thankful that you have so generously allowed Eli's story to be intersecting with Crossing's story. And we are so thankful that you have allowed us and the story that we bring to become real and tangible and very delicious for our community of people here in Knoxville. And we cannot thank you enough. And I look forward to many years of our stories being together and the generosity of Eli's affecting Crossings in such a powerful way. From all of us here in Knoxville, thank you so very much. I'm going to eat a little more now.